Today's episode is brought to you by Canby Foursquare Church. Since 1978, a place to grow, connect, and serve. In-person services are back with some restrictions to help ensure everyone stays safe and healthy. For the latest, visit their website at canbyfoursquare.com.
Welcome to Now Hear This Canby,
your source for news.
The threat of a possible teacher strike was avoided this week.
There's a new, irresistibly cute creature winning over fans, and its name is Scootaloo.
Sports.
It's like Lucy in the football. You want to kick a field goal, if they take it away from you.
We had to learn how to win.
Goal can't be in the last second of the game!
And interesting conversations.
Because I'm one of the strongest girls ever, and I know that for a fact.
I just really enjoy writing gossip as if I was a bear.
With an old maid daughter that make the best moonshine in the coast.
And if it would have hit me in the face, I think I would have died. I really do.
I guarantee you would have died, man. Are you kidding me?
Welcome to Now Hear This Canby podcast. Thanks for listening. I'm Anessa McClendon, and this is what's happening this week in our community. A Molalla area child who had been reported missing Tuesday died after being found unresponsive in a creek near their home in unincorporated Clackamas County, officials said. Officials did not publicly identify the child. Their age and gender have also not been released as of Wednesday afternoon. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office and Molalla Police received reports of a missing child from a home in the 14,000 block of South Union Mills Road near Malino at about 11:30 a.m. Officials found the child unresponsive in a nearby creek, said Deputy Sheriff John Wildhaber, an agency spokesperson. Officers and Clackamas Fire emergency personnel started CPR and transported the child to a Portland area hospital by life flight helicopter, but sadly, they did not survive. My thoughts and prayers are with the family and the friends of the child who passed away today, Molalla Mayor Scott Kaiser said in a public Facebook post Tuesday. My heart also goes out to all the first responders who were on this call today. Sad day for everyone. The sheriff's office is investigating the death, Wildhaber said, along with the Molalla Police Department. All lanes of Interstate 5 south of Wilsonville were shut down for over 2 hours Sunday afternoon after a livestock trailer carrying more than 30 dairy cows tipped over, sending a herd of curious bovines down the freeway to mingle with stopped vehicles and motorists. Oregon State Police and Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue officials said there were 31 cows in the trailer that tipped over when the semi carrying it crashed. Sadly, several were killed in the impact, and a few others had to be put down by deputies and troopers on the scene due to serious injuries they'd received. The crash happened after 2 p.m. Sunday during a heavy rainstorm and involved 3 vehicles. One person suffered some minor injuries. Local farmers, along with OSP, ODOT, TVFNR, and other rescue personnel arrived to help load the rest onto trucks or trailers. The last cow, who was hard to catch, was loaded into a trailer at 5 p.m., said Heather Carpenter, a public information officer for TVFNR, according to reporting from the Oregonian. The state police spokesperson told KATU News Monday that more cows had to be euthanized. The north and southbound lanes of I-5 reopened Sunday night about 5 p.m. after traffic had been stuck at a complete standstill since 2 p.m. Videos and photos on social media posted by people stuck on the freeway appear to show the trailer overturned on an overpass, where some of the dairy cows fell under the bridge below. Tualatin Valley confirmed that the trailer crashed at the bridge, where its top half sheared off and some of the cows were killed on impact as they dropped onto the grassy area below. When asked to picture a hero in their minds, it's unlikely that many people would conjure the image of a 5th grade boy. Those folks, however, have yet to meet Cade Graves. Cade, a 5th grader at Lee Elementary School, was recognized by the Canby Fire Department recently for acting with bravery and heroism when his best friend, Eli Gorton Green, suffered a seizure during recess. Eli, who's also in 5th grade at Lee, said he has had a seizure disorder his whole life. For his safety, Eli's parents have made sure all his friends know about it, and that, of course, includes Cade. Cade's mom, a nurse, also prepared him for what to watch for and what to do in a medical emergency. So when it happened to his best friend on the playground, Cade was ready, quickly alerting nearby adults to call 911 and turning Eli onto his side to make sure he could breathe. "We are so proud of that young man," Canby Fire Chief Jim Davis told Now Hear This Canby. "He was very calm and stayed with Eli. He did an excellent job." Davis, along with Captain Jason Wanner, Division Chief Matt English, and the crew that was on shift during that particular call, all traveled to Lee to congratulate Cade and present with a certificate and Canby Fire Challenge coin in honor of his bravery. "He was very humble," Davis said. "He really didn't want to make a fuss. He said he just felt like he did what he was supposed to do." Eli's mom, Laura Green, contacted Canby Fire to honor the young hero, but the fire district stages similar shows of appreciation for loved ones or Good Samaritans who assist on CPR saves and cardiac arrest and other calls. "We really need the assistance of people who can render first aid assistance like Cade did," Davis said. School district officials said Eli will be okay and is even likely to outgrow his disorder. But for now, his parents are grateful he attends Lee Elementary and has such great friends like Cade. Commissioners will on Thursday consider a statement of support for Clackamas Countyans of Eastern European descent in response to the large-scale Russian military invasion of Ukraine that began almost a month ago. Oregon has a large number of residents with ties to Russia and Ukraine, and Clackamas County specifically has one of the largest Eastern European populations in the country, according to the draft statement by the Board of Commissioners. As we witness the high tensions, ongoing destruction, and growing refugee crisis in Ukraine, the Board of County Commissioners acknowledges the deep impacts to our neighbors, residents, and community members with roots and ties to the Eastern European region, the statement reads in part. We extend our heartfelt support for the people impacted by this conflict at home and abroad, especially those who are deeply worried about the safety of their loved ones. The board stands with communities experiencing conflict, destruction, and hardship. While acknowledging that many world and national events warrant humanitarian support, Commissioner said Clackamas County is contributing $7,500 to the Slavic Community Center of the Northwest, which is distributing care packages and necessities for Ukrainian refugees. The Commissioner's regular business meeting Thursday will be held in person and virtually starting at 10 a.m. For more information on how you can listen or participate, visit the county's website at clackamas.us. Cougar Country. Hometown sports coverage is brought to you by Reif and Hunsaker PC. When you need an attorney, turn to the firm Canby has trusted for over 50 years. Call them today at 503-266-3456. For the latest sports news, follow us on Twitter at Cougar Country OR and Instagram at Cougar Country Pod. After performing well and winning their first district meet in January, Canby returned to action after a full month off and continued their dominant ways. Madison Wheeler started things off strong for Canby in the individual events, placing first in individual flags and third in both the keyhole and pole bending events. Haley Moggenheimer took first place in hand trail and third in trail, while Hannah Smith showed her best riding abilities, winning the Western horsemanship event. Moggenheimer and Sadie Schweitzer took second in the 2-horse working pairs, while the 4-horse events also proved to be strong showings for Canby. And the team of Schweitzer, Moggenheimer, Wheeler, and Maddie Biggie was victorious in the drill freestyle 4s, while Schweitzer, Moggenheimer, Smith, and Wheeler won team versatility. Canby finished off the day with 2 more wins, 1 individual and 1 team. The dynamic foursome of Schweitzer, Moggenheimer, Smith, and Wheeler won once more in the in-hand obstacle relay, and Schweitzer galloped to a solo first place showing in dressage. With their presumed victory, Canby has started the year on the right hoof with 2 district wins and is hoping to see their success continue. The third and final North Valley OHSET district meet will take place on April 7th.
So, Tyler, Valentine's Day is coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Got any big plans with the missus?
Oh, you know it.
That's what I thought. A little candlelight, nice dinner.
Check and check.
Romantic music,
Yepers.
champagne, and of course, books.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, man. Ladies love books, and books are a great gift that show you value and appreciate everything about that special someone in your life, including their mind.
Okay, I'm with you. One problem, though. What if I don't know what book she would like?
Not to worry, my friend. The Book Nook on North Grant Street in downtown Canby has you covered with their Blind Date with a Book promotion. You just pick out the genre and they take care of the rest, sending you home with your choice of a new or used pre-wrapped hardcover or paperback gem that she or he or they are sure to love.
That does sound pretty cool and romantic.
Yep. Plus, the Book Nook has a fantastic selection of chocolate, candy, cards, and other gifts for all of your Valentine's needs.
And that's not all. If you're in need of a special outing on Valentine's week, look no further than Trivia Night at Wayward Sandwiches Thursday, February 17th. They're partnering with the Book Nook for an evening of romantic literature-themed trivia. Awesome bookish prizes and lots of fun.
For all things books and more, check out The Book Nook, 294 Northwest 2nd Avenue, or visit them on Facebook, Instagram, and at booknookcanby.com.
Frankie! How many times do I have to ask you for those audio files? I need them for the next episode.
I know. Man, I told you I'm trying to upload them now, but it's taking forever.
That's super weird. I thought your new internet provider was like super fast speeds.
Well, I thought so too. I mean, sometimes it goes really fast, but then I get heavy lag and glitches when I'm trying to make FaceTime calls or play games. It has cost me quite a few missions on Call of Duty Warzone, I can tell you. Even the videos on my doorbell cam come in jittery sometimes.
Well, Frankie, other than being very bad at video games, it sounds like it's trouble with your upload speeds. Most internet providers only talk about their download speeds, since those are usually way faster.
Okay, hang on a second. You telling me there are 2 types of internet speeds?
Yup. And upload speed is just as important as download. Think about how much stuff we send up to the internet, like the video of you that your friends see on the FaceTime call, or the response to your commands when you're playing action video games.
You're right. It sounds like I have slow upload speeds. Wish I would have known that when I signed up for internet.
Unfortunately, a lot of providers only tout their download speeds when talking about their services. That's what sets DirectLink apart. Not only do they openly advertise them, but their upload speeds are up to 10 times faster than other providers in the area. They know how important it is to have clear video when on that Zoom interview you have for your dream job, or when you're trying to catch those porch pirates that are stealing all of your Amazon packages and the Christmas things that you got for your... You know what? It's not a big deal. Give DirectLink a call to get started at 503-266-8111 or visit directlink.coop/internet.
Kind of got a grudge against those
I'm still
pirates.
waiting for my teddy bear to show up.
Joining us on the Canby Conversation today, we're so excited to be talking with Steve Nelson. He's the Director of Development for the Canby Center. Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm great. Having a good day.
Awesome. How are things at the Canby Center? Quiet as usual? Just not a lot going on? Or no, I'm just kidding.
I think that's an interesting point of view. No, there's always
exactly
something
the
going
opposite,
on.
right?
Yeah. There are.
I couldn't find a parking place.
Well, and it's like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think we're doing a traffic study right now, which is turning out the result that there's stuff happening here all the time.
Yeah. You'd have to find a really brave, I think, traffic engineer to look at this weird part of our town, right? Isn't it the strangest sort of street layout because of the high school, being built the way it was and sort of grown over time? It's just an interesting part of town.
Yeah. A lot of logistics happening here in this little neck of the woods.
So what are some of the big, major ongoing things at the center you want to tell us about?
You bet. We have a lot happening right now. It's just meeting the basic needs of people. For us, that means a focus on food.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, there was this explosion of need that we were able to respond to thanks to
quadruple. Am I right?
Yeah, quadruple, and
within,
awesome.
Like almost overnight.
Well, we went from February till May.
Yeah,
it was just a huge explosion of need.
Yeah,
and the Canby Center was able to respond to that need.
Yeah,
we had to do a lot of adapting to make that happen, but fortunately we had great support both on the financial side of things and then also on the side of just enough food available. There were so many grocers and organizations in the area that wanted to help and were ready to do so.
Yeah.
So that was a great thing. Now things have leveled off to a point now, but it's still way more than twice as much as what we were serving during before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So the changes that we made to be able to serve those needs well are still in place, and we're really busy.
Yeah. What are the for folks who don't know, haven't had need to avail themselves of the services here, or maybe haven't had a chance to volunteer, things like that? Could you speak, and obviously everyone's different, we're not trying to say that, but kind of in general, the types of people that are served here, that find needs in our community that you guys are able to help?
Sure. I would say the bulk of the people that we serve are people who are working poor. Put that as an idea on how to describe them. But they are people who are working, they're just not able to earn enough.
They're working, but there's a gap.
Yeah, there's a gap between what their needs are and what they're able to earn.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of the people that we serve.
Yeah.
We have probably 70% of the people that we serve are Spanish speakers, and so they love coming here because it's a friendly environment and they're able to communicate to the staff that we have, and they're working through the details of their family needs too.
Yeah.
So we help them with both food and clothing, and it's exciting to see those needs met. As we connect with them week by week, we can see how much this means to have those needs met.
Yeah. As Director of Development, I feel like you might have a unique perspective on my next question, but kind of all these things that are sort of affecting us on a global scale or on a national scale as far as inflation, the war in Ukraine, supply chain issues. Do you see any of that kind of impacting your operations here in sort of major ways or even just sort of odd ways, or like we're getting, it changes maybe the types of food you're able to get or anything like that?
Well, I think that the conditions in the world are putting some pressure on the families that we serve.
Okay.
And what I would see happening as I look forward is just an increased number of people who are in that kind of borderline area of going from meeting their needs just okay, I'm getting through month by month, to the point where they kind of go over that line into the working poor situation where they're earning as much as they can earn and it's just not enough now. Gas prices and some of those things that are escalating on us are making it harder on many.
Right. The cost of things are rising so much faster than wages. And just kind of broadening those gaps that might have already existed.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, to this point, the food supply, those who are wanting to help meet those needs, is strong. As time goes on, there could be impacts there as well. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Right now, we feel like we're in a good spot, but we're eyes open to what may happen in the future.
Coming up here in sort of start of spring, April time, school is ending, summer's coming. Are there specific events or specific kind of programs coming online here at the Canby Center that you want to tell folks about?
We are kind of holding our breath and hoping for a kind of a return to the connections that we've had here in the Canby School District. I can't tell you anything specific right now, but conversations are happening because of the pandemic concerns lessening. That gives us hopefully more opportunity to begin those programs, like Reading Mentors, where we meet with once a week with elementary, primary age kids to help emerging readers get a good foundation on their reading skills.
Tell us about that. That's like the kids read to a buddy, right?
Well, no, it's
other way around.
It's volunteers.
Well, I meant buddy, but like it's a volunteer.
You're right. You're right. It goes both ways. It just kind of depends on where the kids are at with their reading skills. So some of them would connect really well with somebody reading to them, and it might encourage them to begin that process themselves. Others, they're already starting to read, and it's a great opportunity for them to read to somebody else. It's mainly about that one-on-one connection with an adult.
It's probably good for me, but I will say, as someone who's a parent of young children that are learning to read, and we go through that process of them reading to me, it is like literal torture. Right? Like so much love and respect to the folks who volunteer for that program, because it is like...
Well, it can be a relief to some parents. Then there are also homes.
It probably does help my patients, to have to sit in that space for a while and let them struggle through the sentence. But because I'm always like, I've got a million things going, and when you do that, it forces you to stop and breathe, right? Which, like I said, probably good for me, but it can be tough.
Yeah. Well, there's another group of kids that really benefit from a program like this too, and that is those homes where it's not going to happen. That they're going to have a chance to read with their parents.
Maybe working multiple jobs, or
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a way for them to have a regular connection with an adult doing something that's going to be lifelong value to them.
Right. Do you have other programs that you're hoping to bring back online as well?
Yes. Another program that is in the future for us is called Growing Together. And Growing Together is a youth mentoring program for middle school age kids.
Okay.
So that program is designed to give a couple opportunities a week for one-on-one tutoring and connection with somebody who really cares about them. It also has an element that is about character traits. So connecting with them on those important pieces, like character traits like respect and kindness, integrity. That's an exciting program that we have designed, and we've developed a curriculum. We're just waiting to launch when the opportunity comes.
Awesome. So that's a new one. That's not one that existed before.
It's a brand new one.
Okay.
We've been at work on this for several years, but we've raised the funding for it as well. So it is fully ready to go when we have the opportunity to do so.
That's kind of an interesting question that I wanted to ask you is, obviously, the pandemic has been a time, especially early on, where a lot of the Canby Center's attention and energies had to shift in really dramatic, very fast ways. But do you feel like this extended period of sort of taking some of these programs offline or maybe postponing the launch of some of them has been a positive in any way, sort of given you time to maybe kind of build infrastructure or a foundation that maybe alter or improve a foundation that maybe you wouldn't have had otherwise, or just has it changed things in any way?
I say I would put emphasis more on the change in how we do things. Not that it wasn't a positive thing, but if you think about our mission as two sides, one side being renewing dignity, we do that through meeting those basic needs for people. We do that through encouraging them personally. And then the other side being inspiring learning. The learning part has suffered a lot since we weren't able to be together in person, that sort of thing. So, there's only so much you can do on a Zoom call.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So, that side of our programming and that side of our connection with those that we serve has diminished during the pandemic. Now we're starting to get back into that. So I think if there's a plus side at it, it's just for us to realize how strongly that mission, pulls at us. We see the value in that. We see people who have perhaps suffered because we haven't been able to offer that. And now as we look forward to re-engaging in that way, we're really excited about that.
Yeah, awesome. Anything else? Anything's coming on or on the horizon that you want to share?
Well, I think we are looking forward to another opportunity to connect with summer camp. This last summer, we were able to serve 160 something kids over 1 week summer camps.
Awesome.
This
Where did
year,
that happen?
It was at Ackerman Middle School here.
Yeah, cool.
And we did that in conjunction with the Canby School District. We're talking again about doing that again this year, and I hope with the restrictions being reduced, that we'll have the opportunity to serve even more kids. Yeah, that would be exciting.
Yeah. How can folks learn more about what's going on here or support if that's something that they're able to do?
Yeah, I would just really encourage anybody to go to our website, thecanbycenter.org, to see kind of a listing of the programs. On that website, there are opportunities for you to see what volunteering opportunities there are. So, anyone who has a desire to help in a way that they're skilled, we'll probably have the opportunity to do that. You can actually go to that website and schedule a time to come in and volunteer. We're always looking for donations as well. This is a time of year where we've come through 2 really slow months in terms of contributions.
Yeah.
And as you've heard, our increase in services and all that is going to put more demands on us on the financial side of things. So any contributions would be a big help, and you're able to donate online too.
Yeah. I know Ray Keene, the director of the Canby Center, has talked about this a lot, and you kind of mentioned it as well, even in this interview, Steve. But it's a real testament to Canby, the community of Canby, and your guys' supporters, that the center was able to manage, this extremely. I mean, I think that we even, and of course we all lived through it, but I think we kind of breezed through it in this interview a little bit. But I mean, here's that word everyone loves, but unprecedented level of challenges that the Canby Center was faced with, and the level of need, and people who were probably experiencing challenges themselves, but were there to help support.
It was exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, we were fearful at the beginning when you think about it. Huge changes. What do we do?
Yeah.
And yet the answers were there.
Yeah.
The support was there, and the community came together
to
allow us the opportunity to serve at these amazing levels effectively.
Right. Other communities sadly did see, places like this not able to continue just because, they weren't able to meet the extreme challenges that arose.
Yeah. There were nonprofits who weren't able to make it through that, but we feel really great about the model that we have, and I feel like it's a kind of example that it's different.
Yeah.
It's unique. It's about relationships, and that's what allows us to really empower people out of poverty from the challenges of that issue.
Yeah, awesome. Last thing I wanted to ask you, just love to put people on the spot like this, but no, is there a particular story that you can tell or that you like to tell that you've kind of experienced or seen, obviously without, disclosing names or, invading anyone's privacy, but just that kind of shows that something really cool that's happened here at the Canby Center or that's been meaningful to you?
Yeah, I want to tell you about a young woman who came here some time ago. She was very sullen when she came through the door. You could tell when she checked in at the front desk that
she was going through it.
She was going through it, and she didn't really have much to say, but she was hurting.
Yeah.
One of her friends had said that, you should try the Canby Center, see if they can help you in any way. So we had a conversation with her, and we found out a little bit more about her situation.
Can you say if this was during the pandemic? Or?
This was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And her situation was that her home life was a risky situation. She was fearful often at home. Yeah. And she had 2 children to account for as well.
Yeah.
So she came to the Canby Center. We were able to help her with food and take some of that pressure off of meeting those basic needs. She found out that she could volunteer, once a month, 1 hour a month. She started doing that. And what she realized in the process of doing that was the Canby Center was a safe place for her.
Yeah.
And she was feeling good about giving back.
Yeah.
Over several months, you could see her confidence rise. You could see the pressures in her life start to take shape for her in a better way.
Yeah.
After probably 4 months of doing that, she was coming in regularly to help. Her communication skills came out. We found out that this is somebody who loves to talk to people. She's outgoing, friendly. She's encouraging others who come to the Canby Center.
Yeah.
Shortly thereafter, she got a job. And now she's touching base with us once in a while because she's gotten a couple of promotions along the way. Awesome. She's taking care of her family's needs. She's out of that risky situation and into a stable environment. Yeah. And this is the type of outcome that we are hoping for here. Yeah. That's a person who is empowered out of poverty. She's got a life now that is sustainable.
Yeah.
And she's just she's loving it.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds to me it was just sort of that kind of tangible message to her that you matter, you have something that you can give.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She knew that she was valued.
Yeah.
She knew that this was a safe place to come.
Yeah.
And from the encouragement that she got with, helping others, she just blossomed.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, thanks so much for taking time out to talk to us today. Remind us again the website.
Website, thecanbycenter.org.
Yeah, gotta have that
THE.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve.
You bet.
Hey, I'm AJ. I'm your local Oddmos franchise owner.
I'm Mike, co-founder of Oddmos.
And we're the hosts of The Odd Pod, a podcast about
life in the pizza industry. We're going to have on some franchisees. We're going to have some different vendors on. We're going to get a snapshot of what goes on behind the scenes in the pizza world.
Don't forget to tell them about the sports.
There's sports.
And the crazy wacky pizza that we have every Wednesday that we create. And we also have a special guest every week as well.
And I'm Gage, Odd Pod's senior sports analyst.
Gage, who gave you that title?
Me.
Oh boy. Find us on Spotify and Apple Music and the Podbean.
Are you a healthcare hero? Do you want to become one? Are you looking for a position where you are valued, your time is your own, and you have ample opportunity for growth? Marquee Companies at Hope Village in Canby, Oregon offers all of that and more. They are currently hiring nurses, caregivers, CNAs, and enrolling students in their free CNA course. From competitive wages and up to $25,000 tuition reimbursement to flexible schedules and the opportunity to make a positive impact on someone's life, Marquee at Hope Village is the right place for you. Take your career to the next level and apply now to become a valued team member at Marquee at Hope Village in Canby. To learn more or apply today, text CURRENT, that's CURRENT, to 888-906-3432.
Canby Then is brought to you by Retro Revival. We are going to finish out this episode with many thanks to our sponsor, Retro Revival. They are not your average antique shop. They're open daily. You can find them on the corner of Northwest 3rd and Grant Street in downtown Canby, or connect with them through email at retrorevivaloc@gmail.com. In honor of the upcoming Halloween holiday, we're taking a short break from our usual stories to revisit a tale that's it's a bit more appropriate for the season. But a brief content warning before we begin: this segment does contain descriptions of murder and attempted suicide. There are stories that make you feel good, that shed light on the human condition. And there are stories that inspire or help your head rest easier on the pillow when you wake up, sweating in the middle of the night. This is not one of those stories. This is not a happy story. It's not a story where the events can easily be explained or understood, or where the narrative wraps itself up in a nice, neat little bow. All I can tell you is that it's a true story. It really happened. And it happened on a dark morning in mid-September of 1914 in a little cabin near Aurora, nestled among hop fields and fir trees. William Son came home around noon on Tuesday, September 15th, to a quiet house, unnaturally quiet. How could a house with a wife and 2 kids, Richard, a wily 2-year-old, and Dorothy, Virginia, a squirming infant of only 6 months, possibly be so quiet? William, tired after a morning of hard labor in the neighboring hop field where he worked, may have wondered if Florence had taken the children to play at his mother's house down the road. Oh, if only that were the case. William's second clue that something was dreadfully wrong was that both doors were locked, front and back. He pounded on the doors, calling for his wife and son. No answer. He was forced to enter his own home through a window, and when he saw the horror that awaited him inside, I'm sure he wished he hadn't. The house was neat and orderly, everything in their proper place, but quiet. So quiet. "Florence!" he yelled again. No answer. He found his family lying on the bed. The small, still bodies of Dorothy and Richard lay on their mother's lap, dead. Florence, his wife for only 2 years, was barely conscious, clinging to life. The gun that had killed the children, the .38 caliber revolver owned by William, was in Florence's hand. She had killed them, then she tried to take her own life with 2 shots to the chest. William called for the coroner and the sheriff, who summoned Aurora Dr. B.F. Geisy. What happened was obvious. Florence, who was conscious by then and able to speak, readily admitted to the crime. The mystery was why. William told investigators that his wife had no history of depression or insanity and that he had noticed nothing unusual in her behavior that morning. She had married Florence in Portland on July 1912. She was 15 years old and had been orphaned at the age of 5. What happened to her parents is unknown, but there is evidence that she and her sister may have been raised by an uncle who was a police sergeant in Portland. Florence had been aiming for the heart when she shot herself, but she missed barely. When he first examined her, Dr. Geisy had offered the grave opinion that he did not expect her to live. He was wrong. Over the weeks and months to come, Florence made a slow and steady recovery, gaining strength and eventually some form of mental clarity about the tragedy that she had caused. Well, clarity is probably not the best word. As I've said, clarity and understanding are not really on the table in this story. She had killed her children out of a fear for their souls, she would later tell friends. She shot her children to protect them from the suffering and the sins of the world, according to a newspaper account. She told them that she loved her children and shot them and herself because she loved them so much and dreaded to see them grow up. Thanks to her, they never would. Florence never expressed remorse for what she had done, at least initially. She spoke of her children as if she had done nothing more than put them to bed, newspapers reported. All is well now, Florence was quoted as telling her husband and friends 2 days after the tragedy. Everything is all right. With a cold detachment that no doubt chilled the blood of investigators, she spoke of finding the gun, loading it, testing it, then turning it upon her helpless children. It would be 2 weeks before she could offer the slightest hint of emotion in discussing her crime. Dr. Geisy, who continued to treat her, said the plan to murder her children came to her in an instant that morning, and that she carried it out in a daze. Even months later, she continued to insist that the children were better dead than alive, and expressed no grief over the tragedy. It's a sad, upsetting story. I warned you. And it ends with another bizarre and disturbing twist. By December of 1914, Florence had made what appeared to be a full physical recovery, and Sheriff E.T. Mass took her into custody through a formal indictment and arrest warrant had not been issued. Before the trial began, the district attorney transported Florence to Portland for a surgical procedure that had been recommended by Dr. Geisy. We don't know much about the operation, which took place at Good Samaritan Hospital on December 2nd. It appears to be some early form of psychosurgery, such as a lobotomy, in which the connections are severed in the frontal lobes of the patient's brain, though it would be over 20 years before the first lobotomy would be performed here in the U.S. A short item in the December 4th edition of the Oregonian noted that Florence was still at Good Sam and progressing well. It was the last time she would ever be mentioned, suggesting that she and her husband moved out of the state, or at least stopped talking to the newspapers. Later speculation would suggest that it was her lonely existence in the small, isolated cabin, her constant brooding over her difficult childhood as an orphan, and her desire to spare her children, especially her daughter, from a similar fate that led her to do what she did. Truth is, we'll never know.
And now, a message from Donna Ellison of Ellison Team Homes.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to take this moment to invite you personally to come and hang out with us for our end of season client event. It's a thank you to all the wonderful people we've done business with, as well as a welcome to a lot of our community. I'm doing this in partnership with Vanessa Zimmerman team at Academy Mortgage. It's just kind of our way of saying thank you. We've really enjoyed getting to know you, doing business with you, etc. We'll be outside. We're sensitive to the fact that we're in COVID, still dealing with that. So it will be spread out. People will have room to breathe and sit and walk and talk. Reckless Company, if you've never heard them before, they're awesome. They're going to be playing. We'll have TMK here. I can't wait to try the corn dog. I've been waiting like 2 years to try this corn dog. So it looks amazing, and I've heard it's amazing, and I think there's quite a following. Also, they'll have all kinds of other food. We'll have beer and cider. Everything's hosted, of course, as a thank you. Again, it's for our clients. It's for our community. We really, really want to come and celebrate. We'll have swag for you, all kinds of fun things for the kids. We hope to see you on 9/16 from 4 to 8 in the afternoon.
Tyler, did you know that the Australian lyrebird can mimic any sound that it hears, even chainsaws?
No, that's super interesting.
Did you know that a baby puffin is called a puffling? Or
No.
that baby sea otters can't swim, so their moms wrap them up in pieces of kelp until they learn how to paddle?
Wait, do you know any trivia that isn't like animal related?
Not really, but here's some stuff you may not know about the Wild Hare Saloon, where Canby goes to eat and have fun.
Okay.
The Wild Hare is one of Canby's longest running locally owned restaurants. Owners Joan and Darren Moden have been in business for 16 years.
That's cool.
Heck, you were just a baby back then.
Wait, what?
And they love to give back. They've been members of the Canby Chamber for that long, and they donate over $20,000 to local sports, FFA programs, and civic organizations each year.
Wow, I'm legitimately caught off. That's cool.
Yeah. They also support more than 30 jobs in the community through their award-winning staff, some of them as young as 18. Hey, that's older than you are.
Dude, I'm 10 months younger than you.
With the days getting longer and the weather getting warmer, the Canby Wild Hare's expansive outdoor patio is the place to be. Furry friends welcome.
Well, that sounds great. I'm going to go check them out just off of Highway 99E next to the Space Age in Canby at 1656 Beaver Creek Road in Oregon City, or on their website at thewildharesaloon.net. Now Hear This Canby is produced by me, Tyler Clausen. Our content director and star reporter is Tyler Frankie. And of course, our show is edited by Cameron Clausen. We also feature the vocal talents of Joyce Struby and James Walden, so a round of applause to them. The song that you're hearing right now is Canby by singer-songwriter Olivia Harms, used with her permission. To find more work from her, you can visit her website olivia13.com.
Now Hear This Canby is dedicated to preserving independent local journalism and redefining local news with our fun, fresh, and energetic brand of storytelling. Our sincere thanks to our local sponsors who make this show possible. Please show your appreciation by supporting the small businesses who support us.
The production of Now Hear This Studios, Canby's locally owned full-service audio, video, and media production company. Our mission is to produce the best content in the universe, and we'd love to help you do it. Find us online at nhtstudios.com.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
I just moved it.
I didn't even ask for it, though.